everyone, Greg Hood here. I'm with my friend Scott Oatsvall. Scott, we've got a big announcement to make today.
We do, and we are super excited about the release of our new book, Seed Wars. This has been a project that we have been working on for so long. There's been an incredible amount of thought and research. And Dr. Hood, I believe that this is the Rosetta Stone of the Bible.
I believe it. I believe it. I've heard people say that this is an overview of everything that nobody's talking about concerning these types of subjects. And the endorsers, which are amazing, we've got some phenomenal endorsers. When they've read it, the endorsements are almost as good as the book because they're saying that it's really giving them insight. And even some of our endorsers hadn't touched this subject a lot.
Well, it's the code that unlocks the Old Testament. It certainly helps you with understanding Old Testament prophecy, and it certainly gives you a great insight.
Yep.
Once you understand the Genesis 6 narrative, once you understand the Nephilim agenda in the earth, it really, really unlocks everything that's going to be happening in the future. This is a must-read.
It's a must-read. We're hearing that. Dr. L.A. Marzulli has written the foreword, which I think is a phenomenal thing. We couldn't have asked for anybody any better, I don't think, than L.A. To write the foreword in this thing. Scott, this book, I think, is going to help shift the church into a place of better understanding of where we are today. And I just want to say to those that are watching this short video today that you need to, not just because we wrote it, but this is going to help answer some questions about spiritual warfare that you've not been able to answer, that pastors are not touching, that ministers across the board are not touching. It's going to help you understand why some things are happening in the earth that we have no answers to. And it's the age-old story. It's the age-old battle from way back, like you said. It started in Genesis 3. It kicked in high gear in Genesis 6, Genesis 11. It began to manifest as well in a whole nother manner. And Scott, I think the church needs this book right now.
Well, the modern day church is under a great deception.
Yep.
And the great deception didn't start 10 years ago, 30 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago.
Right.
The Great Deception has been with us since the beginning of time.
Yep.
And so when you talk about a seed war, now you're talking about a war that has been going on, a cosmic battle in the seen and the unseen realm.
That's
and
right.
The veil is becoming thinner and thinner, Greg. And
That's
what
right.
we've got to do is we need a playbook, just like the enemy has a playbook. We need to have a threat assessment and understand what he's been doing to manipulate and defile the human genome from the very beginning.
That's right.
But the great news is that we are victorious, but this book right here unlocks that playbook that the enemy has been using against God's people, against the kingdom of light.
Yeah.
And now we can see how there are so many entities, there are so many government structures, there are so many big tech, big pharma, everything you look at from a global power structure. Now we understand that the seed war is nothing but a partnership with the spiritual forces of darkness.
That's right.
And once we pull it out from behind the curtain, this book gives you a step-by-step, basically an instruction manual, a war manual that unlocks the secrets and the codes to the Old Testament.
So we talk about the good seed in this book. We talk about the bad seed in this book. We talk about the final seed in this book. We talk about things that the church considers non-existent, fiction, taboo, like UFOs. We talk about aliens. We talk about those types of things. And some of you may say, oh, we can't do that. You need to read this because there are things that are coming down the pike that are getting ready to be released in our nation and the nations of the world that you're not going to have answers to. But we've dug in. We've researched years of prayer and study of the Word. Scott's scientific expertise and a lot of the stuff to do with the human genome that's in this book. Family, listen. Get the book. Read it. If you don't like it, if it doesn't bless you in some way, we'll give you your money back up to 5 days.
And take that book and pass it on to other people. This book needs to be in the hands of ministers and pastors and evangelists and people that are on the battlefield for the Lord. And it needs to be widespread because, again, this is a great deception. Jesus said himself, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be.
That's right.
The problem with the modern day church oftentimes is that we have no touch point on what the days of Noah were all about. Seed Wars exposes all of that.
So this book, family, in closing today, is going to to give you a grid to understand what we've been sharing a little bit about today. So I want to encourage you, go to greghood.org and you can order the book there. You can get it on Amazon. There will be a ebook and a hardcover available very, very quickly. But go get your copy today and give us feedback. Let us know what you're hearing. Leave reviews on Amazon and different places. I believe this book's going to change their life.
Agree.
Thank you for giving us your attention.
Thank you.